In tonight's episode,
what sets us apart is the handmade nature of the product. It is unique and it will always be unique.
Wow, it's an interesting model.
I'm inspired. Trust young people to come up with mind-blowing solutions.
It's a longer process, but I guess that's what farming is about.
I feel like you want to keep it small. It can grow.
Which is why I'm on Eagle's Nest. If I'm here on the show, then perhaps it will give me a better understanding of what I'm supposed to do.
this season of the Eagle's Nest is proudly brought to you by Zimtrade and EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, in partnership with UN Women. First in the nest tonight is an entrepreneur who specializes in an unconventional niche.
Welcome to Eagle's Nest.
Thank you.
Please tell us your name and what you're here for.
My name is Nkanyiso Ngwenya. I am the technical director of a company called NKN Breeding Solutions. So basically, we are a livestock brokering company. Our main mandate currently is to move stock from subsistence farmers that we buy from in the rural areas, and then we bring this small livestock, mainly in the form of goats. We bring it into our goat improvement center for what we call conditioning, where basically we are saying that we know the subsistence farmers haven't really been doing everything that is done in terms of proper farming practice. So we will now administer all vaccines that are needed and also balance the nutrition of the animals using commercial feed and in some cases injections as well, like multivitamins. So we are doing all of this, I can refer to it as value addition, such that when the commercial breeders come in to purchase breeding stock, they've got sound stock waiting for them. So currently, that's the main activity that we are doing. And over time, we've had some inquiries from the NGOs, which are quite a big part of our market as well. They buy quite a lot of breeding stock, but owing to capacity issues, we've only been able to honor a few orders. Currently, we've honored orders with one NGO, and we've also had inquiries to do with export. I've confidently spoken to 3 people in the Middle East, but owing to capacity issues again, we haven't really been able to entertain those orders because once you attempt them, there is a need to be very consistent on them, because once you start exporting, you've got to be consistent for a certain number of months. So we've now had to sort of work backwards and first build our muscle in terms of capacity before we attempt, especially the export market.
Due to the adaptability of goats to diverse environments and their ability to thrive in arid conditions, goat farming in Zimbabwe has gained popularity as an economically viable venture. Nkanyiso is confident that his unique model has a place in the markets beyond borders.
Wow, it's an interesting model. Do all breeders usually just go and buy from subsistence farmers?
Well,
aren't you supposed to have some of your own homegrown elements there?
Well, ideally, that is what is supposed to happen. But at the current moment, I am not able to be doing that because it now means that you've got almost all of your capital tied down in that breeding stock. So currently, in order for me to be able to pay salaries and honor all the other business obligations that come up, I have to buy from subsistence farmers, and then it takes me about 2 to 3 weeks to condition the animals, and then within the same month, I am able to clear off all that stock and go over to the next month. So at the present moment, I am not really able to hang on to like a breeding stock for too long, because I have to be revolving that money within the company so that I keep afloat.
Okay, so you mentioned some constraints that you were having, capacity issues.
Yes.
This is regarding finances.
Yes.
Okay, and at what age are you buying them from the subsistence farmers?
We are buying anything from 8 months to 18 months. That's normally the ideal age for breeding stock as far as small livestock is concerned. So from 8 months, they are able to breed And then anything beyond 18 months, well, they would have gone past their first breeding stage. So you wouldn't really want to sell animals that have done the greater part of their breeding lifespan to commercial. It's like shortchanging your customers in a way.
What's the ideal age that you want to be selling a beast?
Anything between 8 and 18 months. Normally, the age of the animals, we determine it by the number of teeth. So anything with 2 teeth is considered the ideal age to be selling the animal.
Nkanyiso is demonstrating expertise in this sector. Now Gerald seeks clarity on the entrepreneur's export plans for this model.
So in simple terms, your business concept is you are getting the goats, recondition them, and offload to the other people who want them.
Yes, I am getting them from subsistence farmers, condition them, and then we sell them to commercial goat breeders. So the advantage with that is that it keeps us relevant in the sense that the farmers who are now doing this kind of breeding commercially, at a later stage, they will re-engage us as a company in terms of market linkages, because they'll come back to us saying, okay, we have bred our goats either for slaughter or for breeding. How best can we offload them? And then we also, it keeps us relevant.
So your market are other farmers? You don't have a direct market where you are saying, okay, we are also going to slaughter and have our meat somewhere else being sold and so forth?
We do have orders for slaughter sometimes, but currently our major market has been the breeders' market, because the reality in the goat industry right now is that we have got so many emerging goat breeders. So there's a very strong incentive to be more biased to the breeder's side, because I think it responds much better than the slaughter side.
So when we are talking of export, you are talking of taking the goats, reconditioning them or conditioning them, and then exporting them live. What are you looking at?
No, for export, that would have to be slaughter. For export, that would have to be slaughter.
You have not tried it as yet?
No, the export we haven't attempted.
You have only talked to a few people?
Yes, and we've done some groundwork in terms of the population of the goats that are especially like in the southern region, because most of our goats in Zimbabwe are in the southern region. So in terms of the numbers that are out there, it's not yet safe.
Okay, so why are you in this competition?
For now, we are still working with the breeders so that we work the numbers up. And then once we have worked the numbers up, it is now safe to consistently supply the export market.
Okay.
Would you know how many goats are there in Zimbabwe, like nationwide? Because I think it wasn't it 2 million or something? And then the argument was that we are maybe around 13 million. And if we were to allocate each of us a goat, we won't have enough goats. So do we really want to then be exporting those goats when we don't have enough? I want you to speak to that.
Okay, this is why I'm saying that we've had to sort of work our way backwards to say now we are concentrating on supplying the people who want to breed rather than the slaughter side, so that we work our numbers up, because there is quite a rewarding market in terms of the slaughter side. But we first need to work on the breeder side, such that when we've bred a bigger population of these goats, we can now successfully entertain the slaughter side of the market.
So when you talk of exporting, time frame wise, what are you looking at? We are working the numbers up, and then when do you export?
With the kind of work that we've done so far, I am confident to say that at least within the next 9 months, we will be able to make our first attempt.
Taking vital sustainability measures, the entrepreneur anticipates making his inaugural export attempt soon. His model seems to have resonated with Tuve.
I like the fact that you're talking about sort of like being an off-taker, for and an aggregator at the same time. Because I remember from that study, one of the major issues that came out was that there isn't much money that is being made by our goat farmers in Zimbabwe from goat farming. Most of the money is being taken by the abattoirs and the middlemen, which happens to be you.
In a way, yes.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? What are you planning to do for the farmers? Because at the end of the day, we don't want to leave our farmers with nothing.
I would say getting to a point where we are able to do export will actually be more rewarding for the farmers, because if I was to give you a bit of market intelligence as it stands, currently abattoirs are paying anything between $3.50 and $4 a kg for slaughtered goats.
Right.
And then if we're looking at the export market with the kind of research that we've done, each farmer at the end of the entire transaction, they would be able to get at least $8.50 net per kg. Okay. So it's a longer process, but I guess that's what farming is about. Farming is a game of patience. So those who are currently capacitating themselves, working their numbers up, will be able to participate in this process, where we'll now be mobilizing larger numbers for export. Say, for example, the smallest inquiry that we had was 2 tons a month. You're looking at about 100 goats, because with the export market, there is a very strict criteria. Each carcass has got to be at least 20 kgs. So if you calculate that from 2 tons, you're working with around 100 goats. So that sounds like, it sounds doable. It is doable. Yeah, let me say that. It is doable.
What are you currently selling? How many heads are you selling per month, or conditioning per month?
Per month, currently, we are doing between 55 and 60. It now depends on how much the goats will be going for when we go out to the livestock sales that are done by the rural district councils, especially in Matabele and South.
And what do they go for?
They go for anything between $60 and $70.
And then you sell them at?
I'm selling them for between $60 and $70. I'm procuring them at $30. And then the exercise of transporting them to our goat improvement center plus value addition is about $8 per animal, which works up to like $38. So at the very least, our profit per animal will be like $60 minus 38, which is 22.
Wow, that's a considerable amount, almost as much as the person who's kept the goat for 18 months. I'm a bit concerned about the pedigree of your breed, because you're saying that you're buying from various subsistence farmers. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting the same type of a goat every time. So how are you managing the quality that you're breeding?
From the market that we are currently buying from, we are buying from rural areas, and most of those farmers have got either the pure indigenous goat, or to some extent, they've got what we call crossbreeds. The farmers who can afford currently, they've been importing bucks from South Africa, and others are buying like from other local farmers, where they are doing what is called breed improvement. But so far, there isn't really that much of a difference in terms of their selling price when they sell to us.
And then what stops the farmer who's buying from you currently from going directly to buy from subsistence farmers?
It's quite a very heavy exercise, mm-hmm. because other than the livestock sales that are organized by the RDCs, it takes a lot of groundwork for you to get into an area, make yourself known, and there is a lot of criteria that goes into the selection that a startup farmer wouldn't really know. So some of this information, we share it with the startup farmers in the training workshops that we run, because we do run quite a lot of training workshops for goat farmers. I believe that's where most of our demand actually comes from. So generally, a startup farmer wouldn't really know what the ideal breeding stock entails. So it becomes much safer from them to actually buy from an informed farmer, I would say.
From me, because the show runs for about 9 months, and you said in 9 months you'll be ready with your first export, I'm going to say yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see it happen.
Yeah, so for me, I was going to say consider incorporating training into your business model, which you've just confirmed that you do. And also for me, because I've got a close relationship with the goat research that was done in Zimbabwe in the few years, I know that one of the recommendations was that we really need to make efforts towards increasing and improving the national herd of goats, which is exactly where you have positioned yourself. So because of that, I'm going to give you a yes.
Thank you.
You have a yes from me.
Thank you.
Your business has potential.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
The judges have decided that Nkanyiso's venture has the potential for export. He is through to the next stage to receive training to enhance his business's global competitiveness. Next, with a delectable enterprise, is Nomanjabulo, who is eager to uncover the recipe for success.
My name is Nomanjabulo Melissa Mantula. I'm from Sweet Guthrie, which is sweet treats in English. My expectations are we get to learn. It's better to avoid the mistakes way ahead of time. And I believe the competition will help me avoid those mistakes so that we grow in the right direction. My name is Nomanjabulo Mantula from Sweet Guthrie. Sweet Guthrie, most people pronounce it as Sweet Guthrie. Sweet Guthrie is influenced by France. It means sweet treats because we're all about confectionery, and that is where most pastry comes from. It's all about the experience. It's not just about the sweet and savory in one bite. We love to show our clients how much they mean to us and give them an experience above the food that they taste. It's a home away from home, somewhere where they can feel safe. Currently, the world is distressed and everyone is not happy, or most people rather are not happy. We like to create a safe space for our clients, where as soon as they step in, they feel comfortable. The place is very upmarket. We're in a mall, a new mall that's upmarket, so it already gives the clients a whole new feel from being outside. And not only that, we concentrate on the small little details that are there, which means from the menus that are on the woods to the little notes that we give our clients as a thank you, just to remind them of how much we care. We like to also share a bit of history about the product. For example, with when we give out our clients pizzas, we always have a history of the pizza, of how it came from and how it originated, and also tell them how much we love them. Our chef takes good care of our clients because not only does he cook the food, he ensures that once in a while he comes up to the front and greets the clients and finds out how they feel about it. We also have Wi-Fi for the clients and are halal certified. We like to cater for all the clients, all the niche markets that are available, so that people don't feel excluded. It's really all about the experience, and we like to have products that are unique from the typical market. For example, what we brought today, the coconut macaroons, which is something that people are not familiar with. We also acknowledge that because we're working with a concept that is not yet something familiar, we put in milkshakes, which we've taken a significant amount of the market for. And in order for clients to purchase the coconut macaroons, we say $4.50 for the milkshakes and then 50 cents for the macaroons. And it has worked it has worked well because clients have been coming back for more, and specifically for that coconut macaroon. The whole point of coming to Eagle's Nest is so that we want to have international standards, because at the end of the day, the goal has always been to export a franchise. We're just 6 months old, and every single thing that we do, we try to make sure that our clients get an international experience. Our financial within the first quarter is our revenue was at 10.5, our cost of sales was at 3.5, and our operating expenses was at 5.2. We have faced a few challenges as we need more equipment to grow. However, we take each month as it comes and purchase all the new equipment as we grow. And we are taking, because we really want to grow it into an international standard, we're trying to grow organically, taking our time to ensure that each product that we put out to the market is of great taste.
Despite its infancy, the vision for the venture is global. The entrepreneur sets her sights on franchise expansion. The judges are curious about the driving force behind this sweet endeavor.
Thank you so much. Tell me, what made you come up with Sweet Guthrie?
I'd visited South Africa, and there was a restaurant that I went to that I loved. It wasn't just about the place itself. It was about the feel. it gave you a history and made you realize that every little thing had a history to it. And that's when I discovered that pastry is actually from France, and that's where the inspiration then came from.
So your background is not, you don't have a chefing background?
No, I don't have a chefing background,
What is
but
your
I do have a
background?
professional chef.
What is your background?
Accounting.
Accounting.
Who are the shareholders in the company or the owners?
I'm the majority shareholder.
Oh, nice.
And then I've got a business partner as well, a silent partner that comes in that loved the model that I was creating. He's Malawian based and has therefore agreed that once we perfect this model, when we export, we'll bring it first to Harare, and then the first country we'll export to will be Malawi, which is his hometown.
Franchising demands a deep understanding of diverse markets, and a local strategic partnership can enhance successful market entry. Norma's model appears to have impressed Diana.
I'm quite impressed that when I was listening to you, I was actually wondering what you were going to export. And yeah, franchise was the last thing that came to my mind, honestly. There's definitely potential. I can see the level there. It is very exclusive. It's very personal. Yeah. Have you pursued the avenues on how to go about selling a franchise?
I've been researching on it, and which is why I'm on Eagle's Nest. If I'm here on the show, and then perhaps it will give me a better understanding of what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Because I believe you're better off growing in the right space than growing using your general knowledge and assumptions.
Okay. So mainly the feel of the place is what differentiates it from any other cafe?
Not just the feel, because we're not just selling a cafe, we're selling a whole experience. For example, if you look at our packaging, we use biodegradable, which is the first thing you see when you get into the mall. So we are more of a feel good, we care about you type of approach.
In terms of your assessment of your brand and franchise, where are you now? Are you ready to pass it on to somebody else in Zimbabwe or something like that?
I would say we're still on the testing stage. We're hoping that by next year, that is when we'll be franchising. So everything we're doing now, we've already, for example, the first few mistakes we've already learned about the staffing issue. We now have a model of how we're going to be getting our staff. We now have a model of which equipment is required. When we first started in December, the assumption was, general assumption, you're going to need an ice cream machine, you're going to need a milkshake machine, you're going to need an oven, you're going to need this and that. And yet we then later on discover that there are other machinery that you can use that can produce better quality than the machinery that's already there. I'll use the perfect example. I can proudly say that we've got the best milkshakes in town because we are just 6 months old, but then we've now got people coming in for milkshakes specifically to the shop. It has become our biggest seller. And we don't even use the typical machine. What we use is something that people wouldn't think is actually a machine that you use for milkshakes. So we've learned from those mistakes and are hoping that we'll continue doing so. By the end of this year, we should be ready. Right now, our main concern is working on the financial side. Now that we've learned our mistakes and we had a point in time where our expenses went up, we're now trying to get them to go down and try and figure out how to increase our sales as well.
How much do you think this is going to be as a going concern?
As a going concern? We're currently at, I would say, we're currently at 30,000.
So to your Harare person, you'll sell this to them for 100,000, the concept?
At this current stage.
Okay.
That's excluding the feel of that's just the machinery and the branding itself, because that would add in another, give or take, 60K just to make it look that good.
Okay, so I think you have to work on that, because if you're wanting to sell it as a franchise, you've got to know what the value is of the different pieces. Okay. Because in case somebody comes on board and says, okay, I just want you to give me your menu, or I just want you to give you certain other parts, or and then I'll just use your name that this is such and such. So you also have to have knowledge of whether you want it to be that way or you want them to take on the full concept.
Okay.
And you need to be able to price it as well. Okay, I'd like to see where this goes in a year. So it's a yes from me. By the way, the coconut macaroons are awesome.
Thank you.
I think for me, my comment is I'm inspired. Trust young people to come up with mind-blowing solutions. My advice would be that if you're really considering being a franchisor, right, you really need to perfect your systems. You really need to perfect your business model, because at the end of the day, the franchisee will be considering, the opportunity cost of buying a franchise vis-a-vis starting up their own similar sweet gathering from scratch. So if there's nothing solid, to buy, they're not going to buy it. So all these hiccups, all of these issues that you're having, you really need to have them ironed out so that when you are really now starting to roll out the franchise, it's really a franchise. I hope you got that.
Yes.
And it's a yes for me.
Thank you.
And there must be certain elements that are not easy to duplicate. Because otherwise you'll just have other people copycatting.
People just copy.
Yeah.
That's true. There are flashes of genius there. It's a good thing. It's a yes for me.
Thank you.
Well done.
3
Thank you
yeses.
so much.
Well done.
The judges, noting its export potential, conclude that Noma's confectionery venture should advance to the next stage for training. Next is an entrepreneur ready to face the judges' brutal honesty.
I've seen the judges, to be honest, some of the stuff is brutal, but at the same time, it's worth it. It's a big stage and the expectations are high and the atmosphere is usually intense, but well, I think that's the game. I want to, introduce myself to the world, and so actually the world might know who I am and what I do, and that for me is enough. My name is Chani Ngube.
Chalani.
Yeah, and I'm here actually representing Shasha's Pure Honey. I'm the founder of the company, and the company specializes actually in apiculture, which is the beekeeping. And as a company, what we simply do is actually provide services actually in terms of we supply companies with beeswax and also supply companies with honey, which is organic honey. And at the moment, actually, we are working on something which is a product of honey, that actually in a way that I think actually might be a game changer, something actually that we call honey candy, which actually at the same time is nutritious, healthy, and it's just one of the candy actually you can get to eat without, feeling any guilt whatsoever. Yeah, and we help in providing people with organic honey actually is sort of like really healthy, because you get to realize actually most of the time people get to consume stuff that actually will end up, sort of like affecting their health and stuff. So we make sure that actually our honey is organic, pure, not processed whatsoever in a way. You straight from the beehive and straight to your shelf. So actually it has other beneficial nutrients to it, like talk about the anti-cancer cells actually in there. You talk about the anti-ulcer medical stuff in that. So actually that's what we do as a company and how we provide people and help people.
Zimbabwe has seen a notable rise in beekeeping and honey products, marking a positive trend in agriculture and apiculture sectors. Tulani believes his products have what it takes to captivate foreign markets.
What's the price point for that SKU?
And actually there's a big premium actually is going for $5. Then that one is going for $3. Then the small unit actually is going for 50 cents.
So that's the new innovation there.
Yes, that's the new innovation that we are working on.
It's
So actually you can tell
first
the
in
plastic
Zimbabwe
still-
or
Has
what?
it been tested? Is it safe for us to try it?
Yeah, actually it is safe. It is safe. And actually to answer your question, yeah, we are, at the moment actually we've been supplying people and other, small pharmacies and all. Because actually sort of like can infuse any flavor into it, which actually in a way might also help in terms of the medical sector.
Do you think the best idea is to have somebody else's candy strip picture on your picture?
No, actually, I wouldn't say so. I'm working on that because actually, if you get to check I think actually there's still room for improvement on that in terms of instruction. At the same time, instead of stating the ingredients on the.
How long have you been developing that product?
The product. Actually, I can seem to actually making a pack of like 10 of those. Actually, really takes about an hour. Yeah.
But when did you start developing that particular product?
No, actually, since last year.
Since last year.
Yeah, since last year.
So can you walk us through your figures? I just want to know your production capacity.
Okay.
Your sales, how have they been?
Okay.
Your cost structures as well.
We usually actually per month, we produce about 100 of those. 100 of those. And actually, the turnover is usually about $500. And actually, when we do our cost, it was actually a kg or 500 grams of that is almost about $250. That's the cost. Then actually, you factor in your packaging stuff. That's the bottle. The cash jar is actually going for $1. Then you talk about the stickers also infected them all in there. Your net profit whatsoever is per month is about $250.
If I were to ask you last month, how much did you make as turnover for all the products?
For all the products, I actually something like $400.
Your costs?
My cost was $250.
How many people are involved in your business?
At the moment, I have people actually who are helping, like who volunteer to help, whereas I haven't really employed anyone yet. So it's just me as the spirit, and actually I got family and people that are actually helping. So at the moment, I think I'm the only one and other people that volunteer to help.
Thulani, I'm a bit worried
when
you mention the word innovation, because innovation is supposed to excite, eh? It's supposed to be helpful. But this looks stressful. Looking at your products, this is pretty much something that I'm supposed to consume, and it's not even clean. The seal is coming off. Everything is literally breaking apart.
On this one here, it says Christie's instead of Shashes.
I was confused. I thought you picked some other people's various products. There you've got another picture. There you have another name. There you have another name.
What's happening?
Okay. Actually, on the Christie, it was actually, if you get to check on I think actually it says actually it's a product of Shasha's Pure Honey. So actually, it's for me, it was sort of like a move actually where actually I want to, like honor my mom. So actually, my mom's name is Christine. So I was like, you know what? Let me just put in there and just put something actually for it, actually in a way that would stand to represent it, because actually she's supportive in the business.
But even if you're wanting to like this particular SKU, okay, Christie's, you should have Shashes there as well.
Okay.
Shashes, Christie's, Pure Honey, it's, Okay. But for it to just be Christie's, it loses then the mileage that you've attained from being Shashes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm worried about your pricing.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask maybe what is the cost of bottling?
The bottling, actually, at the moment, I can't get those glass jars. So actually, I'm getting from South Africa. For actually, the cost for that landed here is like $1.
For this?
Yeah.
For this jar?
Yes.
So contents is $4. Because
you
say the 135 gram is 50 cents?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
But the contents in here are only 3.7 times the contents in here.
Yeah.
Yet this is 10 times cheaper than this.
That. Because actually I can get those actually locally. So it's not that in a way it reduces
the containers.
Cost.
You can get the containers locally.
Yeah.
At how much?
Actually I can get those at $10 at 100, like a pack of 100.
$10 for 100?
Yes.
But it still doesn't explain why this is 10 times cheaper than that, because your contents should be worth more. Like, I'd understand if this was $1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not 50 cents.
Not 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Where are you getting this honey from?
I've got about 30 beehives.
You're doing it alone?
Yeah, I'm doing it alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where is your honey selling?
Individuals. And actually at the moment,
Individuals.
individuals. At the moment, actually, we've been working with a local pharmacy. Actually, that Sunlit actually are, taking the honey actually and putting it and selling it.
They are putting it in the farmers.
Yes.
How much are you selling per month?
Per month. About 100. Actually, of those. The 500 ones, yes.
So your turnover is on like 500.
Yeah, about
How many of
500.
these are you selling?
And actually, those ones, actually with the market, the bigger ones actually are the ones that move the most. And
This
actually,
isn't selling big because the squeeze bottles are coming into fashion quite a bit. Like even the jam producers are using the squeeze bottles. So I'm surprised you're not selling more of this. And it would be a lot cheaper to bottle this than it is to do the jar.
Okay.
Yeah?
After thorough interrogation, the judges are ready to cast their votes. Will they deem the honey products business fit for the international stage?
Yeah, I think you would benefit a lot from the learnership program that Zimtrade offers, but I'm not sure if you are export ready at all, unfortunately. I would say maybe work on stuff like your branding, your pricing, and then maybe try and come back in another year. Okay, so it's a no from me.
For me, it's not yet. Your model is like fairy tale. I'm not getting it. Your branding needs a lot of working. You also need to have a clear strategy. You are not differentiating yourself from any other person who is selling honey. You are not also getting into the markets, like your local supermarkets. You are not there. So there is a lot which you need to put into play here. Okay. So take advantage of the training programs which are there and then come again, as she's saying. It's a no for me.
It's okay.
You actually need a whole entire overhaul of your business model, It's a no for me.
It's okay.
Thank you for coming, Tulani.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
With a collective stance, the judges conclude that the honey venture is not yet export ready. However, in this chamber of growth and mentorship, the door remains open to try again next year. Next into the nest is an entrepreneur whose business has its roots in a personal triumph.
I expect my business to grow beyond the borders of Zimbabwe, beyond the borders of Africa. Someone once said that invest in yourself so much that somebody else sees the need to invest in you. So I believe this is part of a training, it's part of investing in myself. Did you know that 90% of the toys in the global market are made of plastic, which means that the toy industry is the most plastic-intensive industry in the world. And as we all know, plastic is one of the most dangerous things that are polluting and destroying our environment. So the toys that are meant to bring joy to our children are actually destroying their future. I am here to present the Ubuhle Handmade brand. At Ubuhle Handmade, we go green with the kids. We produce eco-friendly crochet handmade dolls and also a bit of clothing that are made strictly from 100% easily biodegradable cotton. We also go on the principle of the zero waste, whereby the scraps of fabric that we have, instead of throwing them away, we make tiny pieces like keychains, which we either sell or we also gift as complimentary gifts to our clients. Currently, our capacity is we make approximately about 50 dolls, which we sell. Our fastest seller is the bunny, which is going for $20. And our clothes, which they start at $20 depending on the age. And also, after we had an inquiry of 1,000 dolls from a company, an orphanage in Australia. So as a result, I've come to mobilize and empower 10 women who will be assisting me with the production of the dolls so that we increase our capacity. Our product currently is found at the Orange Elephant gift shop in Bulawayo and Victoria Falls. And we also supply clothing to a Pretoria online store called Nurture and Bloom. And through networking, we've managed to get a lady who will be taking our dolls to the United States of America to sell them in Florida. And also our friends and relatives have shown interest in Botswana, and they have asked if we can produce, depending on our capacity, for them to sell our product in Botswana. So basically the product is mostly about gifting, baby shower gifts, where our target market is people who are environmentally conscious, photographers who do baby shoots. So they use our products for their props, and also parents and grandmothers, anyone who will be looking for a unique baby shower gift. What sets us apart is the handmade nature of the product. It is unique and it will always be unique because, like our fingerprints, anything that is handmade will always be unique. Even I can't make the same doll look exactly the same twice. It will always be different. So those people who are looking for exclusive, unique things are they're the ones that we cater for. And our distribution is on a customizable, made-to-order basis. So if a person wants an elephant theme or a lion theme, we tailor-make the package based on what the client wants.
The art of crocheting holds significant meaning in the lives of Zimbabwean women, providing avenues for creativity, entrepreneurship, and skill development. Butle aims to make a mark in the toy industry with her products.
You have two lines here. You are talking of dolls, you are talking of clothes. Which one is fast selling?
The fastest selling is the clothes. Mm-hmm. But the concept is a person buys the clothes. The clothes usually they go with the doll because it's packaged as a gift.
You mentioned on your capacity that you're making 50 dolls. You didn't mention over what period that is.
It's on average on a monthly basis. Okay. Since the stores that we supply them with, on average, 50 dolls.
Per month?
Per month, yeah.
Okay, so basically everything you produce, you're selling?
Pretty much, I could say that.
All right, and then the order for 1,000, you said you're going to capacitate 10 ladies? Yes. How far are you on that project?
We're finalizing the training, and then they'll get their certificates. So once they get the certificates, they'll then do like a sample because there's a certain quality that I'm looking for. And then if they reach that quality, then we can start working with them. If not, then maybe they need further training.
That was my next question on the quality control. Like what sort of level of a person are you looking for? Have they been doing it before? You know, that type of thing.
Okay, some have been doing it before. 2 of them have been doing it before, but 8 of them are completely new to the whole concept. So we had to start from scratch, educating them about the yarn, the quality that we're looking for, the stuffing, and how it should be. Because the American client believes that if something is for less than 2 years, buttons are considered a health hazard. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we don't put buttons for those things, and those were supposed to go to the United States. So we removed the buttons. So they need to understand all those.
So how long do you think it'll take you to capacitate yourself?
Our target was to finish the whole capacitating and training by June, because the American lady had wanted an order for Christmas. She had wanted, so it had to be delivered to her in October. That's about 200 dolls, which we need to make between July and October. So by end of June, we should have been finished with the capacitating, and they should be up to speed.
That's 200 dolls over and above the 50 per month that you're currently doing for your other Pretoria and other clients?
Yes.
Okay. You yourself, you do crochet?
Yes, I crochet.
Okay. All right. And what's the background there?
My mom was a knitter. So I started knitting when I was in grade 3. And in 2020, I went into depression. And then I started, crocheting was a coping mechanism. So crochet saved my life, if I can put it that way. It was a coping mechanism. That's when I had learned it before, but I hadn't been serious about it. And so after that, that's when I started becoming serious. I made my first doll. I gave it to my daughter. She was ecstatic. She was happy. She loved it. And then that's when I started. A challenge came when it came to the washing. The materials that I had used, mostly due to lockdown, they were not the best. So that's when I started making them machine washable, because that's a very important factor, machine washable, and they don't stuff up. And also they should be strong. They should last a long time, because since we're talking about being environmentally friendly. So that's the brief background.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing it.
The entrepreneur's story, interwoven with resilience and creativity, has made an impression in the nest. Now Gerald wants to know the plans for scaling the business.
We need a lot of foreign currency as a nation. We can start small, but we should not remain small. You have, where you are selling in Pretoria, you have orders from outside. What are you doing in terms of scalability, your business? Because you have more orders and then you struggle to fulfill them.
Like currently with Pretoria, it's an online store, but it's based in Pretoria. The people are based in Pretoria. And we're looking to introduce systems whereby we have even tailors who will be handling the fabric side of the business. So someone does their crochet, they crochet whatever quantity, 1,000, and then the tailors come and they run the fabric side. So we're looking to employ more people. Our business is already registered. We're looking to have departments, even like HR, whereby because of the ethical side of our business, people have to be paid well. They have to be happy with what they're doing. So basically, it's about hiring more people. That's how we plan to scale.
I like the elements in your business. You know, the going green aspect, the fact that it can't be done without a human element. It's a niche business, so we don't expect it to be mass produced on any level. And I can definitely see the export potential in it. I think I can give you a yes today. I think you would benefit quite a lot. I'm confident to hear and looking forward to hear how you deal with your order for the United States over the next couple of months. We'll be keeping a close eye on you. Okay, thank you.
I want to commend you for all the community initiatives around your business. I like the fact that you're saying all the right things about what you're doing for the community, about how the products are green, and about how the products are cognizant of the environment. It's a definite yes for me.
It's a yes for me, but let's work out on our volumes. I feel like you want to keep it small. It can grow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
In a collective decision, the judges endorsed the entrepreneur's handcrafted crochet toys business for the global stage.